it's gross. Like, the whole thing is so gross. Have I talked about this before? I think I have. So these videos that have me like peeing in the shower, I've talked about this. This is the one from the shelter in Vermont, right? Yeah, all right. You know, no, I really didn't have any money. I had food stamps, which are really helpful, and it's really too bad that at this point I get $14 a month in food stamps. $14 a month. So I'm just like really just totally dependent on shelters for food, really, for the most part. You know, I mean, when I had $200 a month in food stamps, I would spend it. I would spend all of it. You know, every single month I'd spend all of it. But that also let me not be sitting in a shelter all day waiting for breakfast and lunch and dinner, that kind of thing. 22 GB1, I think that car was. It's either GB1 or G8. Yeah, so anyway, but I also didn't have any money, so I usually walked to Montpelier like every day. I think it was like 9 miles there and back, I think, or something like that. I was walking like almost 20 miles a day, something like that, to go and use their computers at the library. I'd walk. And as far as like the shelter being in Barrie, that's just kind of where they had availability. The thing is, they don't want to let you out of the hospital. I was at the Vermont State Hospital for like 4 months, and I didn't want to go back to Burlington, which meant I had to change catchment areas, which is why I was in the hospital for an entire 4 months. And then they don't want to let you out unless you have some place to go to. So I had to find a shelter that would take me, and that took a while. And then I happened to call the one that was in Barrie, and they had a bed, so I went there. Like the next day, something like that. They let me out, and then I went there. And I guess they started videotaping me at some point. You know, soon after I got there. I don't even know. Maybe they even had the camera like set up. You know, as soon as I called. This is like so terrifying. Am I really gonna end up with more cameras in my apartment? Really, honestly, is that gonna happen? I just can't believe this is happening to me. Again, am I really gonna go through this again? Anyway, yeah, so and then it was kind of like the beginning, it was like the spring, I think it was it March? April? Something like that. And I would walk, and then certainly as it got into being the summer, I would buy like a half gallon of orange juice in the morning, and I would drink the whole thing. Usually by the time I got to 1 right? And I tried to, you know, like drink a lot of water, drink a lot of orange juice, and as I said, like the shower in that shelter was just a little shower in a tiny little room. It didn't have a toilet, and the toilet was like upstairs in one of the bathrooms. So unless I used the toilet like right before I went downstairs in the basement to use the bathroom, you know, I mean, there kind of wasn't really anything else I could do when I was in the shower. I mean, sometimes even if I did go before I was in the shower, I would still need to go when I was in it. And it's not a nice thing to do, not a pleasant thing to do. People are like picking on me about it all the time. But at the same time, like, why do you want to see it? Why do you want to watch somebody pee? I think that's gross. You know, I mean, it's certainly not something that I'm happy that got advertised. But it's more than advertised, right? It's like, you know, they've got video of it, and people are like trying to see it, wanting to see it. Like, what is the deal with that? It's just, the whole thing is just so like, it's just upsetting. You know, it's like the worst side of human nature that you can possibly think of. I'm just like subjected to it every day. You know, I'm subjected to it every day.